without a form, bhakti marg will fail. See, first and foremost, we are sensual beings. Sensual means we use our senses. What are our senses? We have 5 senses. We use our sensual being, our senses to get to our objective. Whatever the objective is, objective is, let us say, I want to come first in my examination. It's an objective. So I have to use my senses and my mind as well. Now, the 2 marks that are there that we did so far, that is Jnana Yoga and the other one is Karma Yoga. There is no such thing as a requirement. You are actually dissecting, you are trying to do your job and stuff like that. But whereas the Bhakti Marg is concerned, you are focused on to only the divine. Okay. Now the divine, when you are praying to the unmanifest, we being sensual people, we don't know where to non-focus. Say, don't focus. It's so difficult, अभी सामने से अमिताभ बच्चन जा रहा है तो आपने अमिताभ बच्चन ऐसा करेगा नहीं तो क्या करेगा. अभी शाहरुख खान आया, प्रियंका चोपड़ा आया या कोई भी आया, तो हम लोग तो सेंशुअल पीपल है बॉस. और अगर बोलेगा नहीं मेरे को उससे कोई मतलब नहीं, बोला ये तो नपुंसक आदमी है यार, कौन है पता नहीं, किधर से आता है मालूम नहीं. It will look like you are bloody alien from Steven Spielberg E.T. एटलीस्ट जादू को थोड़ा सा तो भी जान था, E.T. को तो उतना भी नहीं था. So emotions, we are a very emotional people, so we require something to log on to. See, it's like this. Just now, you blanked out your screen and only listen to the voice. Your satisfaction level will be 50% down. Just see for yourself, this is what is going to be. And then suppose you don't hear the voice and you only look at the ऐसा अगर मैंने किया तो बोलेगा यार I want, where is my volume, where is this, where is that. We want to log on to that. So we are very, very sensual people. So Bhakti Marg suggests that you have a icon or an idol or something that we can latch onto. Jesus Christ without a face is going to be very painful for us. So you better have Jesus Christ with a face. Okay. Abhi Jesus Christ who is smiling is much better than the Jesus Christ on the cross. Because Jesus Christ on the cross is going to give us a feeling of, oh my God, poor fellow, this, that. All these things, the sadness part of it all. Okay. So we pray to divine images which are happy, nice to look at, so on and so forth. Now, everybody has this concept about goodness, bright, nice, sweet, smiling. ये सब है ना positives है ना, negatives. अभी वही नरसिम्हा अच्छा अवतार ने कोई तो भी explanation चालू किया तो एक तो हम लोग तो डर जाएगा पहला. So we require a benevolent type of a person who is smiling, who is laughing, who is always, in a form of bliss, a blissful state. So Bhakti Marg requires an image. So imagery is important. You can have an image in your mind also. But if you say, I don't have an image, I only pray to the formless. Oh, what do you mean by formless? What do you mean by formless? Nobody has answer. So how does formless get prayed to? Think about it. Imagine a child, सेंथिल का बेटा है, वो आया मेरे पास और मैंने बोला मेरा मुट्ठी में क्या है, बोला चॉकलेट है, अच्छा ले लो. अंकल वेयर इज द चॉकलेट? बोला दिस इज द फॉर्मलेस चॉकलेट, टेक इट. और बोलेगा ले फॉर्मलेस चॉकलेट. The child is going to get irritated no end. Okay. और फिर वो रोने का चालू करेगा. I mean, think about it. What is this? We require a form. And the form is so important. Good morning, Kalpana.
Hi, Kalpana.
So, the form is so important to us that without a form, we are not going to like anything. We are simple human beings, sensual human beings who have likes, dislikes. If you say you have to focus on this, do meditation, अला किधर से करने का मालूम नहीं. You know, many a times when these all these sessions that go around the world, they say, you know, close your eyes and then breathe deeply. बोला वैसे भी साला मैं ब्रीथ डीपली मेरे तेरा फीस भरने का टाइम पे मेरा बहुत डीप ब्रीदिंग चालू हो गया था. वो एंड अच्छा वैसे भी मेरी सांस फूल गई थी और अभी तो बोलता है भस्त्रिका करने का जोर से. वैसा भी मेरा वही होने वाला है ना. तेरा कोर्स करते करते मेरा सब हवा निकलने वाला है. तो सी द ब्रीदिंग एक्सरसाइज or the meditation, again meditation on the formless is a next to impossible thing. Again, when we are doing kundalini, you know, the path marg of kundalini shakti, we tell you to visualize something. You know, visualization is so very important. So we say visualize, this is the thing, there is a lotus. अल्लाह भाई, लोटस उधर किधर से आया? वो तो गटर का पानी में रहता है. You know, you tend to, but then you want to see only the beauty of it. So let us have a lotus. Okay, now why not have a Venus flytrap? Well, let us have a Venus flytrap over there. You see, the thing is opening and now it's going to catch you. You are a fly. We don't want to have such images. So Bhakti Marg only tells us have good images in front of your eyes. Don't have bad images. Don't you know, think you know something wrong. So you have a very sweet person smiling at all times. Acha, that image is good enough. So first you have to understand the path of liberation is described in the two other subsets, which is the yoga of you know, knowledge and the yoga of work, that is karma yoga. But in the bhakti marg, no need. There is nothing to bother about. Okay, you are a sensual person, okay, be sensual. You want to see an image, okay, see an image. Everything is allowed. What is expected? Only the goodness, sir. If you have some ill thoughts, please keep them outside. समझ में आया? And then what you need to have is only the love and devotion for that particular person. So you will find that, you know, Jesus Christ, his fingers are always like this and he is looking very benevolently to you and you feel nice about him because he is a cool guy, you know. Buddha also like this and all. But when Buddha or Krishna, imagine Krishna will, ओ मेरे को है ना, वो एक तो गुजरात वाला कृष्णा कभी है ना पसंद नहीं. बड़ा आंख है, ऐसा लगता है कि एकदम डेंजर आदमी है. मेरे को उसको देख के डर लगता है. अपना कृष्णा कैसा बना होता है? एकदम चालू कैरेक्टर. बोला अपना शाहरुख खान ने तो सलमान खान टाइप का है ना, 4-5 लड़की लोग बाजू में, बोला एकदम ढिंचक आदमी. बोला ऐसा टाइप का कृष्णा को है ना अपने को मजा आता है. So you see the Krishna that is being praised or, you know, liked at in say Vrindavan or these places is a very nice guy. You see the one in what is that place called? Puri. जगन्नाथ पुरी का एकदम डेंजर आदमी दिखता है. बड़ा वो भी सिस्टर का साथ है और उसका ब्रदर का साथ है. ऐसा लगता है कि है ना उधर आके कुछ तो भी है ना ढिंचक, मतलब मारामारी करने को आया. लेकिन वो बाकी का सब कृष्णा कैसा रहता है? एकदम बोला है एकदम चालू कैरेक्टर. तो वी लव टू सी सच ब्यूटीफुल स्टफ इन आवर वर्ल्ड. ओके, एंड द भक्ति मार्ग suggests us this. It says, go for that which your heart desires. तुमको कौन सा इमेज देखने का है? अच्छा वाला? हाँ? Do you want to see Salman Khan fighting 20, or you want to see Salman Khan, romancing Katrina Kaif? Which one? बोला नहीं Salman Khan with Katrina Kaif और एक चार दो चार है ना मस्त गाना. We prefer that rather than somebody who is going to getting beaten up. You remember that one movie where Salman has this ऐसा एक कुछ बाल था उसका पता नहीं एकदम
तेरे नाम.
हाँ तेरे नाम. वो एकदम गया गुजरा पिक्चर लगता था मेरे को तो. बोला इतना मार खाता है इतना ये करता है बट ऐसा तो एकदम हल्का फुल्का. हाँ हम दिल दे चुके सनम टाइप का. और रोता भी है तो भी मजेदार रोता है. Hey God. So you feel nice about it because he's a cool guy. So in the same way we have these images. The Bhakti Marg teaches us to have good images. It tells us it should be to your sensual pleasures also, because it's a pleasurable activity. The pleasurable activity of singing songs. Falling in love is a very pleasurable thing. You really are going mad over there. So when you sing songs, you're crying. You're crying for what? You're crying in pleasure actually. You're not crying in pain. मेरे को दुखता है ऐसा करके नहीं. मतलब oh God, you're so great. You're so beautiful. You see, when the evangelists or when these choir boys and all they sing, कितना मजा आता है. लेकिन वो जब भी है ना करता है तभी ऐसा लगता है कि मालूम है पता नहीं कौन सा तो फिल्म में से आया. So, but when they are singing songs, when the whole world is laughing, joyous, joy and peace be with you, ऐसा करके वो लोग बोलते हैं ना. क्रिसमस में भी बोलते हैं देखो. लेकिन if you see the atmosphere on Good Friday, it's a terrible atmosphere. It's a very. So we have to see the goodness of it. बोला Easter Friday, Easter Sunday है जल्दी से. तो तभी है ना Jesus Christ will rise up. We will wait for that. So again, can you see this is the beauty of it all. किसी का पुण्यतिथि is not great, but जयंती is better. है ना? इसीलिए लड़की का नाम जयंती होता है, पुण्यतिथि नहीं होता है. That's a joke, Kapi. You can laugh a little bit. Okay. So Bhakti Marg suggests us good faces, our senses, logging onto it, love and devotion, songs, laughter, all the goodness that is there, benevolent God, and all that is good and nice. So there, the question of liberation, you are not bothered about liberation. You are bothered about the Lord himself. You are saying, Lord, be with me. Just, it's not about I want this, I want that. There is no list of demands also. You are basically gone there for the sake of, there are lots of these Christians who attend the mass only for the choir, only for this. You will be amazed to see, they like to hear the beauty of that. Some of them want to hear the priest speak. Handsome priest, oh my God! Then everybody wants to go for the in Mahim church there used to be one very handsome guy. Kalpana will remember. And the guy was really handsome. I tell you, all the girls were crazy after him. They would just go for that Sunday mass only to look at this guy. So, ये हम लोग का priest लोग को डर के सब जन भाग जाएगा, क्योंकि सब मोटा लोग रहता है, ऐसा बड़ा शेंडी वाला लोग रहता है. एक तो उनका तंबू का नीचे है ना उनका लंगोटी रहता है. उन लोग को देखने के बाद है ना डर लगता है. और हैंडसम प्रीस्ट रहेगा ना तो हम लोग भी जाएगा टेंपल को.
भाव हम लोग के जो प्रीस्ट होते हैं क्या बोलते हैं वही समझ में नहीं आता है.
That is so that
और उनको बोलते हैं भैया थोड़ा धीरे बोलो तो चिढ़ जाते हैं.
Because see, we are not on their operating systems. We have an uncompatible device. We have an Apple iPhone or they are talking in Android. So their language is very difficult to understand. और डाउनलोड ही नहीं हो रहा है अपने यहाँ पे. बोला you require an additional software for downloading this. And I was today in the morning I was listening to वो साउथ इंडिया में म्यूजिक वैसा।
सुप्रभात।
हाँ वही सुन रहा था मैं। अभी लोग लगा के जरूर बैठते हैं और सुनते भी है। और वो एक बड़ा टीका लगा के एक औरत गाती है, उसका नाम मेरे को आधा मालूम नहीं।
एम.एस.
हाँ
सुब्बलक्ष्मी।
हाँ वही। और कोई तो भी एक है वो ऐसा
बॉम्बे
बड़ा।
जयश्री।
हाँ बोले सब जन गाते क्या है, मतलब मेरे को तो कुछ समझता नहीं है। सब बाउंसर जाता है डांग डांग डांग। एक तो अपने को वो तमिल नहीं समझता है, वो तमिल है कि कन्नड़ा नहीं समझता है, कन्नड़ा है कि तेलुगु नहीं समझता। सो फर्स्ट एंड फॉरमोस्ट यू डोंट नो द लैंग्वेजेस, एंड ऑन टॉप ऑफ इट व्हाट दे आर सिंगिंग इज ऑल डिस्टॉर्टेड कंटॉर्टेड, और पता नहीं माय ब्रेन बिकम्स कंप्लीट भाजीपाला। सो एंड दीस पीपल लिसन टू इट वेरी केयरफुली। हाँ हाँ। अरे तुम्हारे बाप ने कभी उसका अर्थ बताया है क्या तुमको? और वो जो गा रही है उसको तो भी अर्थ मालूम है क्या? बोला म्यूजिक डायरेक्टर ने और अपने लिरिसिस्ट ने लिख के दिया है, इसीलिए मैं गाता है। इमेजिन करना। यू नो वो क्या है, वो पाकिस्तानी सिंगर, उसका नाम मेरे को याद नहीं है। नहीं नहीं नुसरत नहीं रे, उसका बेटा कोई तो भी उसका।
नेव्यू राहत फतेह अली खान।
अबे राहत फतेह अली खान कुछ तो भी गा रहा है करके, और वो है उर्दू में। और तू बोला वाह 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 क्या गा रहा है। बोला एक तो साले समझता नहीं है कुछ भी। लाइक अपर व्हाट शी राइट्स हाफ ऑफ द टाइम आई डोंट अंडरस्टैंड, क्योंकि वो सब है ना सूफी है। सब बाउंसर जाता है। हाँ या वो सब and they just go round and round, finally they fall down intoxicated. Somewhere you got to get intoxicated, no? To go round and round and round and round. Okay. Yesterday I had gone to meet a very interesting character. Yeah, I wanted to go to Konya.
वाओ वाओ।
Yeah, so I had gone to meet this guy,
शम्स तबरीजी।
Shamsi Tabriz.
वाओ।
Huh? What is that? Kya? Konya, Konya. Google.
ही इज द टीचर ऑफ रूमी।
Huh. Yeah, it's a Sufi place for Sufism. Anyway, coming back to the topic. So ये लोग क्या बोलते अपने को समझता नहीं। हाँ, मोस्ट ऑफ द टाइम मैंने एक पिक्चर देखा था बहुत पहले, गीतांजलि करके। ओके, नागार्जुना एंड समबडी एल्स, आई डोंट नो। वो ओ पापा लाली जन्म से लाली, ऐसा कुछ कोई गाना था। ऐसा कुछ तो भी पिक्चर था, मेरे को कुछ समझ में तो नहीं आया। मेरा फ्रेंड लोग सब जन बहुत एंजॉय कर रहा था, बहुत बहुत अच्छा पिक्चर है, ये कॉपी करने के लिए बहुत अच्छा है। Because I was sitting with all these producers, directors, and you know, watching which movie we can rip off for Hindi cinema. So we were seeing this Gitanjali. मेरे को वो गाना भी ना बहुत पसंद आया, इसीलिए मैं जाके एक ना उसका कैसेट लेके आया। वो सुनता था मैं डेली, लेकिन मेरे को एक शब्द उसमें से समझा नहीं। I can go like this, like this. You know, like have you seen the snake go? पुंगी वाले के सामने you will be amazed that the snake is having no ears. Okay, he has no sound hearing capability. The only reason why he got ऐसा करके ना is because he sees that pungi is in front of him and that he goes like this, like this, like this, like this. So he is getting intoxicated with it. Funny, isn't it? And the second most important thing is snakes hate milk. और हम लोग उसको जबरदस्ती ठूसते हैं, मिल्क पी मिल्क पी मिल्क पी। वो स्नेक 4 नंबर जब आता है बोलता है ले पी। वो स्नेक बोलता है स्वामी मैं तेरे को काट जाऊंगा। So imagine a child being thrust with milk, how he will be drinking or doing what? वो स्नेक को ऐसा होता है। So here coming back to the topic, so here the idea about the divinity can never be understood. So even if you listen to the songs, you are actually nodding because you like the music. Okay, 99.9% of the time वो wordings भी समझता नहीं। ठीक है, वो गूगल करके देखने के बाद है ना, अच्छा अच्छा वेरी गुड वर्डिंग्स, वेरी गुड वर्डिंग्स। वो वेरी गुड वर्डिंग्स बोलेगा, लेकिन वो वर्डिंग किधर गया, बाउंस होता है। वो जैसा वो अभी सब विनर्स लोग है, हाँ, वो कल कौन सा फिल्म फेयर कुछ चालू था, और इस्माइल क्या, वो कोई सॉन्ग राइटर्स वगैरह, हाँ, दे राइट सम फनी सॉन्ग्स, और हम लोग उसको है ना, बता बाबा क्या गाना गाया, क्या गाना लिखा है, वो सब उर्दू में लिखता है, एक वर्ड का पता नहीं, but it sounds nice, so we like it. But most of the time we don't understand the wordings actually, and the deeper purport of it is never understood. So yesterday there was one question which we were doing. My question was about who is on the spiritual path. So somebody who has read this book and by hearted it, or somebody who is not at all bothered with the book. I don't believe in God. So who is spiritual more? Is the person who has by hearted this book more spiritual, or the person who says I don't believe in God but I believe in myself, I can do anything? Which is a greater person? The person who
believe in
believes
God.
in himself, the
Yeah, I
person who
don't believe
believes
in
in himself, because he knows that there is something special about him. But a person who has by hearted this book has no knowledge about even the verse. वो वर्स का कोई मीनिंग मालूम नहीं, वो काय का, I don't understand that person being spiritual at all. So there is no spirituality in a person. So we were doing about spirituality yesterday, the last verse of the Bhagavata. In that Krishna says कि there is no need to have this knowledge about the books or about anything. The only thing that you need to have is complete devotion to me. बाकी कोई चीज से मेरे को कोई मतलब नहीं है, तुम जाके किधर प्रे करता है क्या करता है उससे मेरे को कोई मतलब नहीं है. Just have one single pointed devotion to me, rest can you just throw it in the dustbin, it's of no use to you. Okay, so Bhakti Marg is the best. You don't have qualification, it's all right. You don't need to by heart anything. You use all your senses, your mind especially, and you please log on to my my network. ऐसा करके कृष्णा बोलता है, बोलता है मेरा नेटवर्क ऑलवेज ओपन and no password required, only password is love and devotion. Okay, krishna.net, krishna.com, और नीचे लिखने का love and devotion is the password, then you enter my website. Okay, otherwise, and no hacking, please don't hack. So that is that. So Bhakti Marg is like this. It doesn't require anything. So where were we? Chapter 3, yeah? Okay. All right. Any more questions? Anything else?
Question.
Yeah, you have a question. Bolo.
Arjuna understands that Krishna himself is the supreme divine consciousness, right? So in spite of Krishna himself telling him to do, why does he keep on getting these doubts?
See, nobody is having 100% guarantee.
Even though he knows he is the supreme being, he is still...
Yeah. Even if, and just imagine in front of you there will be a supreme being and still you say, hey God, can I see your passport? अच्छा पासपोर्ट बोला, वीजा बोला, सब देखने के बाद भी फिर वो पूछेगा, what guarantee is there that you are that one? The funniest part is this, we have no guarantee about it and we have no conviction. Please understand, the Bhakti Marg is the perfection of the conviction about that. It is nothing but a conviction. You have to be 100% sure, not 1/4% less or 0.5% less. ऐसा नहीं, उतना भी percentage less नहीं, 100% conviction होने का जरूरी है. It has to be perfect. Now Arjuna is telling him, full Gita he is listening. After that, again a few months later, he wants to again recap the whole issue, and then few years later again he wants to recap. And then by the time he's dying also he wants to do, can I do that again? I've forgotten about it. Like he's having maybe some memory which is bought from China or something, erasable, और साला डिलीट होते रहता अपने आप. तो इमेजिन यार वैसा टाइप का मेमोरी लेके बैठा, उसको बोलने का सी गेट है ना, सी गेट ही है ना, अच्छा. तो उसका मेमोरी लो, थोड़ा थोड़ा है ना, चलेगा तो भी. So here the thing is, Arjuna needs to be re-emphasized, underlined, and he has to get this complete conviction. But completeness of conviction is never there. That is why Krishna is telling him, I come time and again. क्योंकि तेरा erasable memory. Yeah. Then the religion comes into play. You know, yesterday there was a very funny, while we were coming by, so Raj was telling me, yeah, let's have, please have an ashram fast so that, we can all come over. I think most of us are talking about that. And then I said, you know what? अभी है, कल सब एडमिनिस्ट्रेशन होएगा, परसों और कुछ होएगा, तो फिर गुरुजी गया टुप करके ऊपर किधर तो भी, तो उसका बाद क्या होएगा, बोलेगा आई एम गोइंग टू रन इट, आई एम गोइंग टू रन इट. And this is a part and parcel of it. So she says, it's very bad. I said, I'm sorry, that is the best part of it. Why? Because everything that is born has to die. Everything that is created has to get destroyed. So even in this case, the permanency of anything is not there in this world. Even if the God himself has come and given some lessons to you, वो 4 centuries भी चला तो बहुत बड़ी बात है. Please understand. And the destruction and the demolition is a part and parcel of Shiva's world. So after this Lord goes away, Shiva takes over. बोला अभी मेरे लोग आएंगे यहाँ पे बैठने के लिए, बोला चलो अभी इसका सर्वनाश करने के लिए हम लोग जाते हैं. And beautiful temples are brought to ruins, and I was reading a very beautiful story about how many places in the Middle East were a part of the Judea, basically the empire of the Jews. Slowly it became Christian, and slowly it has become Muslim, and now what it has become, no idea. But it is still going to keep on changing. Same way China. China was a place where elements were worshipped in the previous age, and then the kings came in, dynasties came in. Now it's a communist state with a very little idea about religion. So if you go to any of the Chinese temple, people are going there only for asking something. End of the day, they want to ask, and when you want to ask, you need a place to go to, isn't it? What? So that is why yesterday there was a dilemma. The dilemma was this: see, if everybody is affected, you go to Jesus. Jesus, please help me, so on and so forth. But if Jesus is affected, where do you go? You don't know where to go. Okay, so you go from, suppose something is wrong in your world, so you go to Krishna. Krishna, Krishna, please help me. Krishna, Krishna, please help me. And Krishna is affected, where do you go? So the biggest question in the mind is this: so where does one person go? So there is a possibility that you may log into the basic network again. Like Aparna said, if the iPhone has a problem, you have to throw the whole phone out. So here Krishna has a problem. So what do? You throw the phone out. So it gets destroyed on its own. There are no options. So what are the options that are left? The options that are left is what we call as prayers. We pray to the same person. Like Jesus is being put on the cross, we are praying to Jesus himself. We are not praying to something else. Got the point? So when Ramakrishna Paramahansa was affected, everybody said, you know Ma Kali so well. Why don't you pray to Ma Kali and tell her that you are affected, you are not feeling well, that everything is gone wrong? So Ramakrishna says, oh, I asked her. She said, I can't do anything about it. When it's Ma Kali himself, she is the one who is taking form and standing in front of you and telling Ma Kali, please help yourself. Isn't it very funny? You know, there was this very funny incident where the son-in-law of Rani Rashmani, okay, now one day he comes to meet Ramakrishna Paramahansa, and he sees Ramakrishna Paramahansa is walking up and down in his veranda. From far he is watching. So when he is coming towards him, he sees Ramakrishna ji, and when he is going backwards, he sees Ma Kali walking. So he is wondering, Are, ye kya chakkar hai? So it's one and the same. So whom do you pray to? No idea. So this is the divine consciousness is like this. So what I wrote today is more or less reflecting on these type of characteristics about the divine. Got it? So we will start. So Senthil, did I come to your answer or no?
Yeah.
Very good. I also don't remember whether I came to it. So, however, he who has true insight into the respective spheres of the gunas, modes of prakriti, and their actions, holding that it is the gunas in the form of senses, mind, etc., that move among the gunas, objects of perception, does not get attached to them, Arjuna. Okay, this is a very important statement that you need to understand very carefully. Gunas work among the gunas. It's a very important statement. What does this line mean? This means gunas, there are three gunas which you have heard of, sattva, rajas and tamas, correct? Now let us say, for example, how do the gunas act among the gunas? Okay, a simple example is a glass of wine. Okay, there is a glass of wine kept in front of you. Now, when you look at the glass of wine, three different people will give three different ideas about wine. The one who is tamasic in nature, mast hai, kya baat hai, pura bottle bhi rakho na. He is thinking like this. He is thinking of intoxication by means of, and completely sozzled up. He is thinking, I want to dunk myself into that. Or maybe a big cask of wine. He is looking at that, bola pura pee jaunga main. The Rajasic person will think, oh, it's a very, very good one. And then he will try to see which year and which place it has come from and all that. He wants to show off to the world that I have drunk the best wine in the world. So a Rajasic person is like that. A Sattvic person will say, oh, my Lord is giving me a small glass of it, like a prasad, so I will taste it. So the same wine, has it not acted in three different ways? So every object is classified into three gunas by the one who is seeing it with that objective. Understood? Three different people can see the same object in three different ways. Got it? So the gunas are acting in the gunas. The object is perceived in a particular way. Got it? Now let us say, for example, Pari, who is not here today, wrote about that there was something she was supposed to attend. It was that Model United Nations. So the Model United Nations got cancelled. So now the three different aspects to it. The tamasic person says, "Hey, acha ho gaya. I was not prepared for it. I'm happy it got cancelled." The Rajasic person will say, "Oh, I was so damn well prepared, I could have beaten the hell out of my competition." A Sattvic person will say, "God is so great, He has given me another opportunity so that I can prepare better for the same." Can you see the three sides to the same? It's the way you look at it. Do you see the downside or do you see the upside? A Sattvic person always looks at it from his goodness. The same thing is seen in a very, very good way. Whereas a Tamasic person is saying, "Acha ho gaya, nahi hai." Whereas a Rajasic person, his ego is getting affected. So did you see? The gunas are acting in the gunas. Though the object by itself is not a tainting kind, but the person, the one who is perceiving it, is tainting it. Correct? Now, let us say, for example, there is a Bhagavad Gita. Now, a person will say, "This is a third class book, I hate this thing." Okay? The Rajasic person will say, "Oh, can I print more copies and make money out of it?" And the Sattvic person will look at the same Gita. Such a wonderful book. It talks about such beautiful stuff. Three different perspectives of the same object. So here in this verse he says, however, he who has a true insight into the respective spheres of gunas. Now that you have got an insight into the gunas, sattva, rajas and tamas, the same object can be perceived in three different ways. Understood? So one who has a true insight into the respective spheres of the gunas and their actions. What are their actions? Like we said about the wine, the intoxication part, the drinking part, so on and so forth, the actions. Holding that it is the gunas in the form of senses and mind, etc., that move among these objects of perception. Understood? It is your mind and your senses which are moving in these objects, the objects that you see of perception. Now, if this is a phone, this is an object of perception. It's a disturbance. I don't want the phone to ring because my boss will ask me where you are. I am at home sleeping. The Rajasic person will say, "No, I better keep the phone on whole day and night. You know what? I may lose an opportunity to sales or marketing, whatever that person is doing." And a Sattvic person will say, "I just use it so that, whenever there are any updates or whenever I can see them." Three different approaches to the same issue. So everybody's way of looking at it differs on their personal way of looking at it. So the insights of your mind and senses will determine how the object is perceived by you. Got it? So the gunas move among the gunas. Understood? So it is called the movement. How you are looking at every individual opportunity that comes your way of the objects in front of you. Somebody will see the object as a phenomenally great thing. Somebody will say it's a great opportunity to do something to themselves, the ego. And somebody will say it's such a third class thing, I wish it never came. So three things. Like the gun control thing in USA. So many children got killed. So the tamasic person will say, "See, every child, every person in USA should be given one gun so that they are able to control them, all these type of things." A Rajasic person will say, that gives me an opportunity, more guns I can sell. The Sattvic person will say, this is causing so much of misery to the parents and to this entire world. I wish this whole thing stops. I wish this gun control is brought about so that there is less of massacre and that people learn to live in peace and harmony. All these three things matter, isn't it? So how you look at it is very, very important. Okay? So the one who has the knowledge that the gunas are acting in the gunas is not attached to it. That means he is not bothered. Now, a person who is seeing these objects does not get carried away by what is happening. Do you understand? The divine person doesn't get carried away by what is happening. Alright? So the divine person will see the first person saying it's a form of intoxication. I want to drink more. He can see this person. He is behaving exactly the way he is programmed. The second person is going to be after profitability and stuff like that, and about his own ahankara. He will say it's the best wine in the world. He wants to feel good about his own self. So he can see that this egoistic person, the Rajasic type of a person, is very much on that path. And the third person who says, no, it's like a prasad, it's like this. So the third person is a Sattvic in nature. He's behaving exactly the way he's supposed to behave. The one who is lost in the self understands this and he doesn't name anybody. He doesn't make any judgments about things. So you have to go far beyond your normal state. Do not make judgments. If there is a person who loves to laze and sleep, yes, it is his nature. Okay, he's like a sloth bear. What can you do about it? You can try your level best in telling the person, get up. Right? There's another person who doesn't want to go to sleep, who thinks that if he closes his eyes, the world is going to disappear in front of him. So he's always awake. Such a person is a Rajasic person by nature. Now such a person is a very, very focused. He is into ambition. He is into all those professional achievements and stuff like that. So this person is into that. So what do you do to such a person? You can just tell him to tone down his ambition a little bit. But beyond that, can you say anything? No. Then there is another person who sees all the goodness in the world. This is so nice. Yeah, wo. But that person is also a part of the Sattva Guna. This person who is lost in the self can see all these three separately. And yet he is not attached to it. Do you get that? Understood? So he does not get attached to this. The mind has to do its job. The senses have to do its job. Now, do you remember, Brito? I said in the Bhakti Marg, the senses are working in the senses. Correct? The mind is going to do its job. A person who is doing his Bhakti Marg, who is lost in devotion, love and devotion, is least caring for this. Because any which way you can't stop your eyes from seeing. You can't stop your ears from hearing. You can't stop your mouth from talking. You can't stop your nose from smelling. Correct? So he says, it's okay. It's a part and parcel of my being. Let all these work. Alright? My mind is going to jump from this tree to that tree, this branch to that branch like a monkey. But can I not be focused only on the one divine aspect called love for the divine? That is all I am looking at. I am not bothered about what my mind does or what my body does. He, standing outside, can see his body doing all these type of monkey antics. So the Bhakti Marg person behaves like a very normal human being but only attached to the Lord. That's it. Beyond that, he is not at all concerned. So, those who are completely deluded by the gunas or the modes of prakriti remain attached to those gunas and action. A man of perfect knowledge should not unsettle the minds of those ignorant of imperfect knowledge. Now, that person who is used to sloth, who is used to sleeping, who is used to laziness and all, you can only tell the person 10 times or 20 times, get up, wake up, do this, do that. Utna hi bol sakte. Okay? Yeah, a person who is, I want to do this, I want to achieve this, I have this, ye karne ka, wo karne ka, wo karne ka. The Rajasic person is going to be Rajasic only by nature. And a Sattvic person, I am lost in the Lord, I do this goodness to the world, I donate so much rupees, I am always found amongst people, and मैंने इसका सेव किया, उसको सेव किया, ये वर्ल्ड में इधर जाके ये किया, उसने ये किया. He is always talking about the goodness part of it. All three are egoistic by nature. Please, I am sorry. Okay, all three are egoistic by nature. So the person who is the divine, who is lost in the divine, basically a person who is beyond all this, will never want to unsettle the minds of those people. He should never try. He should not, force them, put a gun against that person's head and says, देखो, ऐसा नहीं करने का, get up, otherwise I'll kill you. I'll kill you. Okay? याद नहीं आया? वो तो terrorist है ना, वो एक वैसा. You don't have to tell these people, अभी उन लोगों को अक्कल उनकी मत में मार खा गई है, तो हम क्या कर सकते हैं उसमें? We can just try to teach them to be nice. We can try to tell them, देखो भैया ये करना बराबर नहीं है. We can try, but we don't have to force them. So in this verse he is very clearly telling you, please, these imperfect knowledge people, the people those who have this type of imperfect knowledge about sattva, rajas and tamas. See, there are many people who come to visit me, and when they come to visit me, they say that I go to this temple and I do this and I do that. I am never going to stop them to do what they are doing. If they have a faith in me, they will come back. I am not going to force them to come back. So my doors are always open. You want to come, you can come in. You want to go, you can go out. That's a choice that has to be given. So everybody who is there, they are basically, they are ignorant. They are ignorant. They do not understand the truth. And we who are on the path should never try to unsettle the minds of these people, because the minds are already made up. There are people, those whose minds are made up. You cannot go and unsettle the minds of those people. They believe in that bullshit. Okay, a person believes that he is the greatest thing on planet Earth when he donates so much money to the temples and to these institutions. Now, if there is a Warren Buffet, you can't go and tell a Warren Buffet, see, Mr. Buffet, if you do this, you are going to be a part. Sir, don't try also. Because that man is not going to listen to you. He is already an egotist par excellence. So don't even try your level best in trying to convince. Or Melinda Gates Foundation, or whatever the Gates Foundation that is there. Try telling them, this money that you are spending in the villages in Africa and America and all those places is worthless. Okay? To find God is very important. Try telling that to Mr. Bill Gates and his wife Melinda. I'm sorry, you are doing the wrong thing, because you are not supposed to do that. So don't try to unsettle the minds of these people. They think they are the greatest thing on planet Earth, that they are doing the greatest service to mankind. Then there are those people who are always focused on career aspect, this, that, ding, ding, ding. Yesterday, last night, late in the night, there was a call which was received by Rajeshri, and one of her colleagues introduced another person in India, and this person kept on saying, oh, you can make millions and you can make billions and you can do this and you can do that and so on and so forth. बहुत बोल के हो गया, बहुत एक घंटा. So finally I told her, can you find out the name of the company that this person is talking about? So Rajeshri asked the person, what is the name of the company that you are talking about? Oh, it is called the Key, QI, QI. When she was talking, I googled it and I showed her the number of cases against this. In every country, a person who is joining this, it's called multi-level marketing. It's called the pyramid way of marketing, and it's a way of reaping off customers. So I told her, this is nothing but a hoax call. Please do not even try to attend to it. And the place where it is registered is called Cayman Islands, and it's literally a rip-off. So, and here there are people who are working for big companies who have joined it. So if you have joined it and if you have lost a certain amount of money, to recover that money, you are going to con few more people for them, isn't it? So it is like that. So multi-level marketing is nothing but that. Many years ago, I had gone to the house of this great cricketer called Rahul Dravid. And there in that house, they were trying to tell me about these different MLM, multi-level marketing strategies which a foreign company has introduced in India. And I told them, this is a bloody rip-off. Don't tell me about these things. You can make millions and then you can make billions. I'm sorry, if somebody can make a millions and billions, then whole of America and whole of USA and whole of India and every other country should join that, isn't it? It doesn't work. So, but you know there are fools born every minute. Why do you want to become a fool? Don't get into it. It's not important. You can listen to that and say, I'm sorry, I don't want to be a part of it. So I told her, shut down the phone. But the phone went on for over 1 hour. It was an international call. So whoever was calling, was talking, and a very well educated woman was talking on the other end of the phone. She has got conned into it. And then I opened up a page where it was shown how these people act. So the moment you say, oh, it is slightly very difficult. No, don't worry, I will introduce you to my senior. And then you are thinking that there is some senior person who will come and talk to you. No, there are 4 people who join in. Oh, it's a damn good thing, blah, 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 blah. And they will never come to the topic. They'll keep on talking about all bullshit right around the world, but not to the topic. And then the moment you say, but I still feel that I should know about it. Then another 10 more people will join in. And if there are 15 people standing in front of you, you are going to get, तुमको डर लगेगा. Finally you will say, okay, I think I should also join. And why? Because some of your colleagues are into it. So this is a part of a con game across the world. Forget about this company. There are companies dime a dozen in India itself just now at this moment in time doing the same thing. There's a company which is trying to sell you, how you can become thin. There's a company which is selling you soaps and other products, household products. We are a multi-billion-dollar corporation. And you really wonder, how can people be so foolish? But they are foolish people. There are foolish people. And they are very well educated. So when you see such type of people, you can only watch them as a witness. Don't try to correct them, because the more you try to correct them, they are going to go against you. And why do you want to provoke somebody? To the hell with them. You don't get involved. And that is the reason why when there is an accident on the road or something like that, I tell my disciples, I said, just go on your path. Don't get involved in that stupid thing. You see, there are 100 people watching it. Kya ho raha hai, kya ho raha hai? Why do you want to be the 101 person over there to be stupid? Okay, somebody is dying, so what do you do? whoever is in that particular vicinity would have dialed the ambulance, would have done something about it. Unless and until that person is falling on your head yourself, then you may have to take the person to the hospital or do something about it. But otherwise, there was a very sometime some year back, there was a case in which Aditya got involved. For what? Somebody knocked an old man on the road and his bike was behind. He stopped the bike at the side and tried to take this man to the hospital. And in the hospital, they asked him a question. What is the number of your bike? And what is your name? Where are you staying? And they put him as a person who was responsible for this accident. Manipal Hospital did that. And when Aditya was fully embroiled in it, I had to go over there and we had to see that man got admitted and so many things happened. So why did you want to get into it? So yes, so a knowledgeable person who is on the path doesn't get into these rights and the wrongs and the goods and the bads and the evils and this and that. He is lost in the divine only. He is not bothered about why the world is coming to an end, why there was a bomb in Hiroshima, why did this person do that, and why did you got what I'm saying? Now Hitler is born any minute and Saddam Hussein is there. अच्छा मैं क्या करूं उसमें? It is not what is called an indifference. He is not indifferent towards it. He knows all this is a part and parcel of Maya. So the true self, the one who is lost in the truth, in the self, doesn't get involved in it, only watches it as a witness state. So here he says, do not try to unsettle the minds of these ignorant people. Therefore, dedicating all actions to me with your mind fixed on me, the self of all, freed from desires and the feeling of myum and cured of mental agitations, fight. So he's telling Arjuna, now that I have explained to you about this, karma yoga so well, please do all this for me alone. Me means Krishna alone. You are my fighting machine. You are doing it because I have instructed you to do. And remove this ego of yours, that which says, I am not going to kill. Who the hell do you think you are to do this? It is I who run this whole world. Didn't he say this in the previous line? I do my job. Indirectly he is telling Arjuna, देखो मैंने ये पूरा प्रोग्राम करके रखा है और जो आदमी ये समझता है मैंने प्रोग्राम किया है, he is only my tool. He better do the job which I have instructed him to do through my natural resources which I use, my own Maya, my own Prakriti. I use it so that you do your work. And stop this thing, I am affected, this is right, that is wrong. All these things that you are getting into, stop that. Got it? So therefore, dedicating all actions to me with your mind fixed on me, the self of all, freed from desire and the feeling of myum, and cured of mental agitations. Okay, you have to do what you are supposed to do. Did you get these lines? See, these are very important lines. Do not get carried away by what is happening around you, because the gunas are acting in the gunas. I have written your future based on your own karma. I have done this for you. Why not be the best tool over there? Do not use your mind. You see, multiple thoughts I told you, remember the multiple thoughts? The more the thoughts, the more the likes, dislikes, why should I do this, why should I do that, all this is going to come. Or you will think about profitability, or you will think about desires. If I do this, I will make so much money. All these are none of your business. Why not be just a tool and do the job? Okay, the tool. Now everybody has a tool. Okay, if the tool starts misbehaving, are you not going to get into trouble? Yes. Suppose your car stalls in the middle. Are you not in trouble? In the same way, you who is the tool for Krishna himself to run this universe, hey, मेरे को थोड़ा सोचने दो. Are you not stalling like the car? या तुम्हारा बैटरी चला गया या कुछ तो भी हो गया तो मालिक को तकलीफ होती है ना कि नहीं? So if you stop doing the job which I have programmed you to do, you are not doing the job. You are using your ahankara, your ego, while doing what I have told you to do. And that is the reason why you are going to suffer for the karma that is going to accrue to you in the future. So even those men who, with an uncavailing and a devout mind, always follow this teaching of mine, are released from the bondage of all actions. So then there are those people who follow this, just doing what they have been told to do, what I have programmed them to do, without using their mind, just the actions which are performed for my sake, dedicating all actions to me, they just do what they are supposed to do. Such a type of a person is released from bondage of this birth and death, correct? So he is released from this bondage. Should I continue or is the time up or something like that? Okay. But they, however, who find faults with these teachings of mine, do not follow it, take those fools to be deluded in the matter of all knowledge, are as lost. Now, if you start using your mind and if you start questioning you have doubts about what I have told you to do, and you start questioning me कि ये ऐसा क्यों करने का, क्या जरूरी है, मेरे को ये करने से क्या मिलने वाला है, कुछ फायदा है क्या उसमें? All these things if you keep on doing, such a type of a person who doesn't become a good tool for me will be lost. I will see to it that this tool is never used again. So you will be tied up in the cycle of karma, getting born again in life and death and life and death and life and death. It's very few people who get a chance of liberation, very, very few people. And if there is a chance for liberation, why not be the best tool? And this is where the whole point lies, be the best tool for the Lord. All living creatures follow their tendencies. Even the wise man acts according to the tendencies of his own nature. Of what use is restrained by force? So everybody has tendencies. Please don't misuse my words. क्योंकि उसका dangerous meaning आता है. So the unwise man and the wise man both have their own programmed tendencies. They are supposed to do what they are supposed to do. If a bird is supposed to chirp like a bird, starts barking like a dog, is going to be very difficult. They have a tendency of behaving like a bird. तो वो वैसा ही करने वाला है कि नहीं? And then there are those people who are used to, इधर क्या मिलता है, उधर क्या मिलता है, उधर क्या मिलता है, and they are used to those type of profitable situations. They are going to be after profits only. Then there are the corrupt people in the world. Who do you think you are to go and change the people who are corrupt? They are going to work in the tendencies which they have acquired or which they have in them. They are used to taking, bribes and stuff like that. They are anyway going to do it. So you think you want to change this world? Krishna himself doesn't want to change the world. Who are you to change this world? There are very few people whom he can take out from this universe. So he has come only for those few. He has not come for everybody. If everybody is going to use their tendency, they are going to use it. So please understand, even the wise man has his tendencies. What are the wise man's tendencies? I told you there was this great sage who used to go to prostitutes before, and then he became wise. Then he became a prophet, a sage. So when he became a sage, he still continued going to the prostitutes. He didn't stop. So does that make him unwise? No. The gunas are acting in the gunas, the tendencies are going to do what they are supposed to do. So his tendency is like that, he is anyway going to do that. Because he is not connected to that body. The body is doing his action. Samjha? There is a saying, you can take something out of someone and that something cannot be taken. ऐसा कुछ तो भी एक है ना?
Yeah, it was in Jungle Book.
हाँ.
Right? You can take the boy out of the jungle, but not the jungle out of the boy.
Something like that. So it's in us only. So even if this boy goes to the city, he is going to live like a jungle boy only. Correct? It's like Tarzan. Tarzan goes to New York City. He wants to climb up that, all those buildings and towers the way he was, and he will search for the monkeys. At least there. He will find half of the town is full of monkeys only. So, apes. Tarzan the ape man. So, it is exactly like that. So why are you trying to dissuade a person? What is it? So even a wise man who knows that the tendencies are going to act in the same way, he is going to have his tendencies. He works like that. So all living creatures follow their tendencies. Even the wise man acts according to the tendencies of his own nature. Of what use is a restraint by force. So don't try to force somebody to do something else. Got it? Because your force is not going to work. The person is anyway going to come back to the same place where he started. Alright? So in this verse, is he not telling you that the tendencies have no cure? He is very nicely telling you the reverse of it. और तुम्हारा tendencies है उसका कोई cure ही नहीं है. So you try telling a person, नाक में उंगली नहीं डालने का. अरे वो साला मरने के लिए भी रहेगा, फिर भी वो नाक खुजाते बैठेगा, है ना? I'm not joking. You should see the number of people who are driving their cars and digging their noses. It's a part and parcel of their life. And even if they go to very big places, they will do the same damn thing. What? So that is the reason why. Forget about it. There is this person who is there in the Britain's Got Talent and America Got Talent. The very famous guy. Okay, I don't know his name. Now he has had affairs with every Tom, Dick, Harry, Jones in that. Alright, he was a part and parcel of a music group in the late 80s. In 90s he was part of another music group. Fortunately for him, he became the producer of one great thing, and that led him to another, and that led him to another. He has his yacht and stuff like that, and every few years he tries to get engaged to somebody and marry somebody. And वो बोलो ना, even if he goes and becomes a temple में जाके कुछ एकदम है ना, पता नहीं वो शेव व्यू करके एकदम वो पंडित जी भी बन गया ना, तो भी उधर भी जाके वही करेगा. नहीं लगता है उसका टेंडेंसी तुम निकल सकता है क्या? No, you cannot. So why are we trying to do that? Stop doing this. Stop trying to change people. Change yourself. Remember this. Just try to change yourself. Okay? Control your mind. Control, like that. So attraction and repulsion are rooted in the sense objects. Man should never allow himself to be swayed by them, because there are two principal enemies standing in the way of his redemption. Everything. Is this not attraction and repulsion are a part of our life? I hate this. I like it. ये हमारा life का story ही है ऐसा. When it is such a nice day and mummy says, get up, let me sleep some more. It's Sunday, ma, don't wake me up. But Sunday is very good to go for the morning mass. Mass, don't tell me about mass. Brito, कितना बार बोला रहेगा तूने मम्मी को? Oh my God, I hate that thing. It's the same with our kids, everything is the same. So there are attraction and repulsions. बोला लेकिन संडे मास में गर्लफ्रेंड आने वाली है तो तू तो साला 6 बजे उठ के तैयार होके बैठेगा, बराबर है? You know, most of the young boys and girls who go for the Sunday mass and all, वो लोग गया है उसका गर्लफ्रेंड और बॉयफ्रेंड को मिलने, और एकदम मस्त कपड़ा विपड़ा डाल के, you know. I mean, this is nothing but actually a place where you meet your sweetheart. So they will get, so ऐसा टाइप का है ना, attraction नहीं तो repulsion रहता ही है आदमी को. So attraction and repulsions are rooted in the sense objects. Sense objects, okay? I told you sense objects means what? You don't want to hear the drone of the priest, you know, the boring guy, you know, he just reads that thing. I hate it. And you have to just keep on saying, और वो हिम अपने को खाली बोलते रहने का ना इतना, अरे इन लोगों को कुछ मस्त एकदम है ना मेडोना बिडोना का जैसा क्यों नहीं गाना करने को क्यों नहीं आता है, ऐसा हम लोग सोचते हैं. So you remember that sister act thing? When she goes and she changes the way these people behave and all that, that big fat female who is there.
Yeah, she's got a soprano voice.
It's an amazing film. So the whole change that she brought about in this, you know, the choir boys or girls over there. So it's an amazing thing. But the attraction and repulsion are part of our sense objects. Man should never allow himself to be swayed by them. Please know it is going to happen. समझा? और जो होने का है वो तो होने ही वाला है. What is going to attract is going to attract. What is going to repulse is going to repulse. Because everybody is drawn by their senses and their mind. So why are you getting hassled about it? It's going to happen any which way, isn't it? Only the sage is least bothered about it. बोला मैं क्या करूं उसमें, मेरा आंख उधर गया तो. So, because there are two principal enemies standing in the way of his redemption. One's own duty, though devoid of merit, is preferable to a duty of another well performed. Even death in the performance of one's own duty brings blessedness. Another's duty is fraught with fear. We will end over here. So this line I will explain. See, now, how many parents push their children for joining some stupid classes? They will say, you know, our neighbor's kid, he's doing so well in badminton. You should also join badminton. बोला तेरे बाप को उधर जाके है ना दीपिका पादुकोण को देखने का, इसीलिए वो साला ज्वाइन करने को बोलता है. हाँ वो भी खेलती है ना उधर, छोटा छोटा स्कर्ट्स डाल के खेलते हैं, उसको देखते रहता है वो. मतलब you cannot talk about this, but you can definitely say ना, you should also join badminton class. Prakash Padukone, the great world champion, he is teaching. How many children have been thrust like that? The tennis academies, the music classes. मतलब music, one talent you should have, music class join कर. बोला नाच ना जाने आंगन टेढ़ा, मेरे को पैर ही डालने को नहीं आता है, फिर भी है ना बोलेगा no, you should join Bharatnatyam. Why? Your auntie, great, you know. We went for her, what is that thing called? वो जो
Arangetram.
हाँ Arangetram. So many big people came. Chief Minister of Tamil Nadu, she came. Hello. तो she came और वो कहाँ पे है अभी आजकल? बोला टी नगर में एक छोटा सा क्लास लगाती है, उसमें है ना 10 स्टूडेंट्स है उसके पास. मजा आया. हाँ. And she has one photograph with Jayalalitha Amma. ले तो she great person, you should also be. We literally try to force our children or our people into doing something which they are not supposed to do. Why should you force these people? So, you got to do your own duty, even if it is not paying you. समझ में आया? अरे उसमें पेमेंट नहीं निकलता रहेगा, तुम्हारा कोई नाम नहीं आने वाला है, लेकिन जो तुमको नेचुरली करने को आता है वो तुम करो. दूसरे का काम करने का और दूसरा कोई झक मार के है ना कुछ भी करने का, उससे अच्छा अपना खुद का काम करने का. और कुछ नहीं कमाएगा तो चलेगा, दूसरे का करने को जाएगा ना. Why? Everybody is in the IT industry. You should also join IT industry. अच्छा IT इंडस्ट्री में क्या उधर अंगूर लगा के रखा है क्या? बोला साला जावा का जे भी नहीं आता है. और जे गया निकल के आवा भी नहीं आता है अपने को, फिर भी बोलेगा नो आई डू प्रोग्रामिंग इन द इंडस्ट्री। बोला प्रोग्रामिंग, पी और प्रोग्रामिंग आता नहीं, साला वो बाजू में लड़की है उसको पूछते रहता है इसका क्या करने का। यू विल ऑलवेज फाइंड दिस पर्सन इन हर क्यूबिकल, hey I don't know this thing, you know। खुद कुछ करेगा नहीं, हाँ खाली उसको पैचअप करने के लिए मस्त से आता है। आई एम सॉरी आई एम यूजिंग अ लिटिल लैंग्वेज विच आई थिंक 2-3 पीपल कैन अंडरस्टैंड, बट वो भी ऐसा ही है, उसको जावा का जे नहीं आता है, बोलता है अच्छा पगार मिलता है इसलिए मैं कंपनी में। हाँ, एंड व्हाट एल्स, मे बी आई विल गेट चांस टू गो अब्रॉड। अच्छा, he is basically looking for chance to go abroad, that is why he joined the company. They're good opportunities, you know। And finally after 5 years and 7 years of service, you know, he said I am tired, you know, I want to go back to my native place। बोला where? I want to go to Kerala। बोला I will sell नारियल पानी। लो, अब पहला से ही नारियल पानी क्यों नहीं बेचता था? बोला उसमें पैसा नहीं है ना, क्या है, you know, I got enough money now, I will buy few more नारियल का पेड़, and now I will become big नारियल वाला, but I will wear nice, you know, Gucci and all that and sell nariyal। How many of you people have come across such type of people, you know, they want to wear Gucci and Armani and sell nariyal pani? Funny, but this is what they think, you know, I worked for 7-10 years in IT industry, made so much of money, and now I can go to my native place and sell nariyal pani. Or maybe, you know, we were thinking that we should start this, you know, the fishery farms, that thing that are there very famous। हेलो, अभी तेरे को है ना मछली पकड़ने का था तो पहले से क्यों नहीं पकड़ा? So this is important। Krishna is talking about this। He is telling you don't try to do somebody else's job। So that is the reason why I always caution people, you know, अभी तुम लोगों को मेडिकल का या इंजीनियरिंग का डिग्री लेके खाली शादी करने का है तो मत लो यार खाली फुकट का, किसी और को चांस दे दो। So here he is telling very clearly, underline these words, one's own duty, though devoid of merit, do not do this duty which is, you know, somebody else's duty, okay, is preferable to the duty of another well performed। You may do that particular job very nicely। Remember Three Idiots and remember Madhavan's role। Madhavan was unnecessarily doing his engineering when he wanted to be a photographer, and he becomes a good photographer। So a person should do what he is good at, right? What comes to him naturally, his own duty, you have to do it। But even if you don't get any money, remember Funsuk Wangdu? Good. He lives in that God-forsaken land, Ladakh or some such place. He is not famous the way everybody is, but he has so many patents against his name। And that person from USA, what's his name? I've forgotten his name.
Chatur Ramalingam।
Yeah. Chatur comes and tells him, I have Japanese person। क्या कुछ तो भी वो बकवास करते रहता है। इमेजिन करना, फाइनली क्या करना पड़ता है? चड्डी निकाल के दिखाना पड़ता है।
तोहफा कबूल करो।
तोहफा कबूल करो। You know, I love such type of films which have certain meaning. We have to see what is the meaning in that. So you got to be doing what you are doing very well। So here we have Amir Khan somewhere lost, teaching, which is his life, you know, which he loves, and doing his inventions. He lives and he goes there. And this is basically what we should be all into. So one's own duty, though devoid of merit, is preferable to the duty of another well performed। Even death in the performance of one's own duty brings blessedness। You will be blessed if you die doing your own duty। So then there are people, those who are, you know, those who go on the front, they love to be in the army, they really love to be on the front, and such type of people sometimes meet their death, and it is a blessed thing to meet their death over there if they'll really do what they are supposed to do. That is, join in that particular thing. So another's duty is fraught with fear. So do not try to do another person's duty. Even if you are going to get a Nobel Prize or some such thing, don't try to do that. It's going to put